Hey everyone! How are you today? I hope you're having a great day. Today's episode is going to be really fun. We're going to talk about different topics, share some funny stories, and I'll ask you some questions along the way. Don't worry, it's all in simple English. So, grab your favorite drink, sit back, and let's have a good time. Let's start by talking about a day in my life. Do you ever wonder what I do every day? Well, let me tell you. I usually wake up at 7 a.m. What time do you wake up? I hope it's not too early. After I wake up, I like to stretch and do some light exercises. It helps me feel awake and ready for the day. Do you exercise in the morning? If not, you should try it. It makes a big difference. After exercising, I have breakfast. My favorite breakfast is toast with avocado and a cup of coffee. Yum! What do you like to have for breakfast? Maybe you like cereal or eggs. Breakfast is very important because it gives you energy for the day. Don't skip it. Then, I start my work. I usually have a lot of things to do. I plan the podcasts, write scripts, and sometimes I have meetings. Working on the podcast is my favorite part because I love talking to you and helping you learn English. What about you? What do you do during the day? Maybe you go to school, or maybe you have a job. Whatever you do, I hope you enjoy it. Now, let's take a break from talking about my day. I want to share a funny story with you. Do you like funny stories? I hope you do, because this one is hilarious. A few weeks ago, I went to the grocery store. I had a list of things to buy: milk, bread, eggs, and bananas. Simple, right? So, I went to the store, got a cart, and started shopping. Everything was going well until I reached the fruit section. I was looking at the bananas, trying to pick the best ones. You know how it is. You don't want them too ripe, but not too green either. So, there I was, carefully choosing my bananas, when suddenly, I slipped on a banana peel. Yes, just like in the cartoons. I fell right on my bottom and my bananas went flying everywhere. It was so embarrassing, but also very funny. People around me started laughing, and I couldn't help but laugh too. I got up, picked my bananas, and quickly went to pay. Now, every time I see a banana, I remember that day and laugh. Have you ever had something funny happen to you in a store? If you have, I'd love to hear about it. Let's learn some new words today. I'll teach you 5 new words and how to use them in sentences. Ready? Curious, wanting to know more about something. Example, I'm curious about different cultures. Delicious, very tasty. Example, the pizza we had for dinner was delicious. Explore, to go around a place to find out what is there. Example, we love to explore new cities when we travel. Hilarious, very funny. Example, that movie was hilarious. I laughed so much. Brave, not afraid of danger. Example, firefighters are very brave. Now, let's practice using these words. Can you make a sentence with each word? I'll give you a moment to think. You can pause the podcast if you need more time. Ready? Great! Here are my sentences. Curious, I'm curious about how this book ends. Delicious, this cake is so delicious, I want another piece. Explore, we decided to explore the old castle. Hilarious, my friend told a hilarious joke at the party. Brave, she was very brave to speak in front of so many people. I hope you made some good sentences too. Let's make this a bit interactive. I'm going to ask you some questions. You don't have to answer out loud, but think about your answers. What is your favorite thing to do in your free time? Do you like to read books? If so, what's your favorite book? What is your favorite food? Do you have a pet? If yes, what kind of pet do you have? What is one thing you want to learn this year? Think about your answers. It's a good practice to think in English and try to form sentences in your mind. Since you like the first funny story, let me tell you another one. This one is about my friend, Lisa. Lisa is a great person, but she's a bit clumsy. One day, we decided to go hiking. We were really excited because we had never been to this trail before. We packed our bags with water, snacks, and a map. Everything was going well until we reached a small stream. There was a narrow bridge to cross the stream. I crossed it without any problems, but when Lisa tried to cross, she slipped and fell right into the water. She was soaked from head to toe. We couldn't stop laughing. Lisa stood up, dripping wet, and said, "Well, I guess I needed a bath." We continued our hike, and even though Lisa was wet, we had a great time. Have you ever gone hiking? It's so much fun, especially with friends. Now, let's talk about some tips for learning English. I know it can be challenging, but don't worry. Here are some tips to help you. Practice every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes, practice every day. It helps to keep the language fresh in your mind. Watch movies and TV shows. This is a fun way to learn. Watch movies and TV shows in English. Try to understand what they are saying and repeat after them. Read books. Start with simple books and gradually read more difficult ones. Reading helps you learn new words and understand how sentences are formed. Speak with others. Find a friend or a language partner to practice speaking English with. The more you speak, the more comfortable you will become. Listen to music, listen to English songs, and try to understand the lyrics. Singing along can also help with pronunciation. Do you already do any of these things? If not, give them a try. And that's the end of our story. Did you like it? I hope you did. Stories like these are not only fun, but also teach us important lessons. Before we end today's episode, let's review what we learned. We talked about a day in my life, shared some funny stories, learned new words, and heard the story of Jack. I hope you enjoyed our time together and learned something new. Remember to practice your English every day, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep having fun. Thank you so much for listening to episode 26 of Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I'm your host, Sarah, and I can't wait to talk to you again in the next episode. Have a wonderful day, and keep learning English. Goodbye.